Tensions between the United States and South Africa have reached a new peak after President Donald Trump announced that he will exclude South Africa from next year's G20 Summit in Florida.
As tension between the United States and South Africa erupts after Donald Trump uninvites SA from the 2026 G20 Summit, the whole world is waiting for Julius Malema to react, to clap back, to take the fight straight to Washington. But Malema? He's not interested in Trump's distraction. He doesn't blink. He doesn't respond. He doesn't waste a single breath on Trump's bully. Instead, he turns the spotlight right back on the Phala Phala scandal, the case South Africa still wants answers for. And now the whole nation is asking, why is Malema ignoring Trump completely? And why is he pushing Phala Phala at this exact moment?
Tensions between the United States and South Africa have reached a new peak after President Donald Trump announced that he will exclude South Africa from next year's G20 Summit in Florida. The G20 is one of the major international gatherings of world leaders. Trump linked the decision to claims that South Africa refused to hand over the G20 presidency. President Cyril Ramaphosa dismissed the claims and said South Africa will continue to take part in global platforms. His office added that the country will not seek support from individual states regarding the G20 dispute. Washington boycotted the G20 leaders meeting in Johannesburg this month, citing what Trump called human rights abuses in South Africa. In a social media post, Trump said South Africa has demonstrated to the world they are not a country worthy of membership anywhere, and added that he would not invite it to next year's summit. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said he would try to persuade Trump to extend an invitation to South Africa. He stated, and I quote, "In my view, the G7 and G20 are formats that should not be made smaller without good reason. I will try to convince him to invite the South African government as well." In his post, Trump also claimed that Pretoria refused to hand over the G20 presidency to a representative from the United States Embassy at the end of the Johannesburg summit. South Africa responded that the United States delegation was not present at the summit and that the presidency was handed over to an embassy official this week. Relations have been strained since Trump took office. He has repeatedly claimed that white farmers in South Africa face targeted attacks or even genocide. These accusations have been rejected by researchers, human rights groups, and foreign officials, but they continue to appear in his public statements. In May, he raised the same allegations during a meeting with President Ramaphosa at the White House. The diplomatic standoff adds pressure to trade talks between the two countries. Washington imposed a 30% tariff on imports from South Africa in August. In February, Trump signed an order that reduced United States financial assistance to South Africa, including funding that supported HIV and AIDS programs. Foreign policy differences have also contributed to rising tensions. South Africa has taken a clear position in support of Palestine. It has drawn comparisons between its history of apartheid and the situation in Palestine, criticized Israeli military actions, and supported cases at the International Court of Justice. This position contrasts with the United States' approach under Trump, which maintains close alignment with Israel.
Now this is where things get interesting. While the world expects Malema to attack Trump or respond to Washington's pressure, he simply refuses. Instead of getting pulled into America's drama, Malema shifts the entire conversation back home to a case that remains unresolved, unanswered, and uncomfortable for many.
Now, EFF leader Julius Malema has criticized the Constitutional Court for what he calls an unacceptable delay in delivering judgment in the Phala Phala matter. Members of the party marched to the Apex Court earlier today demanding accountability and clarity. The Phala Phala scandal stems from the theft of an estimated 10 million rand from President Cyril Ramaphosa's Limpopo farm in February 2020. The EFF approached the Constitutional Court seeking to overturn the National Assembly's decision not to adopt the findings findings of the independent panel report into the incident. Although the case was heard in November 2024, the court has still not issued a ruling. Malema says the delay undermines confidence in the judiciary and amounts to an embarrassment to the country's constitution.
What we are seeing today, for more than a year, the Constitutional Court, the highest court in the land, cannot produce a simple judgment on whether Parliament acted rationally or irrationally when they voted against the panel recommendations. These comrades of Constitutional Court, they must know that they've embarrassed the whole country with the best constitution. As he said, we are going to march to the Constitutional Court and we must listen to the marshals and the DOR and our leaders. No one must hide under the roof of shops. There is no rain in the revolution, there is a revolution in the rain. And we cannot come here and be scared of the rain. No rain will stop the revolution. We are going to remove Ramaphosa through Phala Phala. We want the judgment of Phala Phala today. Whether there is rain or sunshine, the march is proceeding to the Union Building. Manda!
While global headlines are shouting US versus SA, Malema is telling South Africans, forget the noise, focus on justice. He is refusing to let Trump's decision become a distraction. He is reminding the nation that accountability at home is more important than foreign pressure from abroad. And now the real question becomes, is this the moment when the Phala Phala case finally returns to the center of South African politics? Or is Malema preparing the country for something bigger? Which one should South Africa focus on first? Type Trump if the US-SA tension is more important. Type Phala Phala if justice must come first. Like this video to push African voices forward. Subscribe to Afriscope TV, where Africa speaks boldly with no fear and no filters.
Disclaimer. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. Afriscope TV does not promote hate, violence, or misinformation. All content is based on publicly available data and expert commentary. Viewers are encouraged to think critically and verify independently.